Hi everyone, welcome to ACA Basics. My name is Brett Bussell with ACA Prime. Today we will be walking through the following topics: ACA reporting, ALE determination or applicable large employer determination, B forms and small group reporting, C forms data requirements, US state level ACA reporting, ICHRA and ACA reporting, look back measurement tracking overview, and the PCORI fee calculation. Which employers must report? Applicable large employers. Generally speaking, you're talking about 50 plus full-time equivalents for the previous year. Any employer, large or small, offering a self-insured health plan, level funded health plan, or an ICHRA or individual coverage HRA. Any large employer must report the C forms, even if they're fully insured and a carrier reports covered individuals on the B forms. Which forms am I required to file? Applicable small employers use the less complex B forms, which we'll show here in a minute. All large employers must report on the C forms. Large employers that are self-insured or offer ICHRAs must also complete Part 3 of the C forms, showing all covered individuals. How do I know if I'm an ALE? ACA Prime can help you. We can do this free of charge as long as you get us the data in a usable format, typically hours data by month or pay period, in Excel or CSV. ALE status for a given year is determined by the full-time equivalent count of the previous year. An ALE has 50 plus FTEs in the previous year. All commonly owned companies go into the calculation. For more information, see the link below. B forms versus C forms. The following slides will show samples of B and C forms. B forms are easier for both 1094 and 1095 forms, as you will see. The 1094 is a summary transmittal at the EIN level. So each EIN will need its own set of 1094 and 1095 forms for a commonly owned group. The information in the B form is inherently in parts 1 and 3 of the C form, as we will see. Part 2 is the most complex part of the C form. But note, if you are a self-insured employer, you may create a B and a C form for employees as applicable. In this case, the C form would not need to include data in Part 3, as we'll see, as that will be shown on the B form. Here is a sample B form. Part 1 simply shows employee level information. Part 3 shows the employer information or plan sponsor. And then finally, in Part 4, the covered individuals. Note the similarity and differences on the C form. Part 1 shows the employee and employer information. Part 3 shows this exact same information that would have been on the B form for covered individuals. And again, that is only completed for sponsors of self-insured plans or ICHRAs. Part 2 has the most complexity, lines 14, 15, and 16, with their various codes, 1H, for example, 1E, for example, and then your codes in line 16. And finally, new, as we'll see later on, the ICHRA complexity has new codes for line 14 as well. And then you must fill out the zip code and age of the employee when filing for ACA reporting for ICHRAs. Here's a sample 1094 summary transmittal. For a B form, very simple. Basically, employer level information and number of forms. The C form, a lot more involved, employer level information, the total number of forms in the transmittal, is it the authoritative transmittal or not, is this part of an ALE, and then any certifications of eligibility, which we can answer offline as need be. Then there's Part 3, showing was minimum essential coverage offered for each month. Then column B and C show the full-time employee counts and the total employee counts, and finally, was the group part of a aggregated group for all months or some months. And then finally, Part 4 lists all of other associated commonly owned employers. In our example here, we just have one. ACA Prime due dates and cutoffs. March 2nd is the IRS deadline for 1095 form distribution. March 31st is the e-file deadline with the IRS for electronic filing of 1094 and 1095 data. That can be extended by a month if you complete an extension with the IRS. July 31st is the PCORI fee deadline. We'll talk about that later. January 15th is the recommended date to get data to ACA Prime by. That said, we always accept new clients. We do not have any cutoff dates. We just cannot guarantee that we will make a given deadline if we do not have a requisite data at least 14 business days in advance. ACA process overview. We have 10 steps. Basically, I'm going to go through each one individually, upload the data to us, including census, enrollment data, questionnaire. We review, ask for any clarifications or additional information needed. At that point in time, in our previous service, premium service, we merge, clean, code, and QA all of the data, produce the 1095s and 1094s in PDF format, review all this with the client. Once that's signed off on, we can print and mail the forms out to employees. Later on, typically in the March timeframe before the March 31st e-file deadline, we e-file all clients and as necessary US states. We confirm all filings were accepted and help you review any 10 issues and corrections that are necessary. And finally, if there's ever any question, any letter from the IRS, we can help you respond to that as well. Data requirements by EIN. 4 main things we need for each EIN: employer information, questionnaire and information gathering, employee census, and enrollment data. Employer information, fairly straightforward here. Employer name, EIN, full EIN, employer address, contact name, title, phone number. The questionnaire and information we need is the various plan types. Do they meet MAC, minimum value? Again, any ICHRA, plan start dates, any switching of plans, any affordability testing that was done, which applicable safe harbors you would like us to use, or would you like us to figure that out for you? Measurement methods, offer date methods, employee classifications, what's called the employee required contribution, or this would be the employee portion of the least expensive qualifying plan. And finally, any unique situations, mergers, acquisitions, and so on. Employee census is what we need for each EIN. Unmasked SSN, name, address. There's multiple EINs. We would need to know which employee, which worked for which EIN or multiple. Dates of employment as applicable. Any other relevant information that the employee needed for filing. Optional as needed if it does affect the ACA reporting. Insurance offer dates if we're not calculating those or not provided elsewhere. Waived or accepted offers of insurance, date of birth, potentially, or age as of a given date, annualized salary or base hourly rate, hours by month, and then finally employee class or type. Employee enrollment data for each EIN. In unmasked SSN, name, applicable employer, and then coverage by month or dates of coverage. And then for self-funded groups, we do need the dependent spouse name, SSN, or the date of birth works if there is no SSN, and finally months or dates of coverage. US state level reporting, we handle this automatically as necessary. These are the 4 primary states that require it. This typically is all done in bulk in March or April timeframe. For California, New Jersey, DC, and Massachusetts, ACA Prime extracts all the data needed from the federal, reformats it, and uploads it for you. ICHRA and ACA reporting. B forms are fairly straightforward. The C forms are the most complex when it comes to getting the ACA reporting done, given the different zip codes, ages, and various parameters and new codes that go along with the ICHRA reporting. These codes were added in 2020 to accommodate this ACA reporting. Applicable safe harbor codes are more complex to evaluate. We will be recording a different webinar later on to talk about in-depth ICHRA and ACA reporting. Measurement periods. Here's an example. You'll see at the top, you have a standard measurement period. This is what we typically set up, a 12-month standard measurement period, going from November of the first year to through October of the next year, 2-month admin period, and then a 12-month stability period. This one has the stability period aligned with the calendar year, as you can see. Initial measurement periods can be set up in different ways. What we typically recommend is for all employees hired in a given month, have the measurement start the first of the following month and go for 1 year, have a 1-month admin period, and then an initial stability period of 1 year. That's going to be seen here. Tracking process flow. Generally speaking, when you use ACA Prime, you upload the hours to us. We review and analyze the data, and then send out an email to our contacts saying, here's who qualified for insurance, and any offers can be reported back to ACA Prime for our records as well. PCORI fee, what is it? The Patient-Centered Outcome Research Trust Fund fee, the fee on issuers of specified health insurance policies and plan sponsors of applicable self-insured health plans that helps to fund the Patient-Centered Outcomes Research Institute, PCORI. Yes, that's a mouthful. Regardless, it's a fairly low-cost fee. Basically, it's only applicable to self-insured plan sponsors. The fee is $2.93 for average covered life for a given plan year. It goes up a little bit every year. That's for plans ending between October 2022 and September of 2023. The due date is July 31st, following the end of the plan year. You will want to use IRS Form 720 to file in the second quarter of the given year. How do you calculate the PCORI fee? ACA Prime can help with this. We are now offering this free of charge, given we are doing the ACA reporting for you as the employer. Generally speaking, to do it yourself, you want to choose 1 day. The easiest method here is the snapshot method. There are multiple methods. The one we recommend is to choose 1 day in each quarter of the plan year, sum the covered lives on those dates, and then divide by 4. For various other methods, including using Form 5500, see the link below. Very quickly on ACA Prime, we have all the boxes checked. We have an easy and accurate solution for ACA reporting, plus much more. We have penalty reimbursement for any errors that may have occurred due to something that we did on our side that's not occurred, but we do have the coverage for that. We assist free of charge anybody that did the ACA reporting through us with IRS penalty letters. We automatically do, as applicable, all U.S. state level reporting. You're doing the federal reporting with us. We can help with ALE determination free of charge. PCORI fee calculation is now included in free of charge with our premium service. And finally, we offer remote login assistance. What we seek to do at ACA Prime is check all the boxes and minimize risk and increase your peace of mind. Again, my name is Brett Bucell. Please reach out to us if we can answer any questions on your ACA reporting or compliance needs. Thank you.